Joy is the normal way that people say it. She's feeling joy, and it starts down here in your gut with all the coffee. And it kind of sort of bubbles up with some of that acid. Maybe you're feeling a little bit nervous. Maybe you only just woke up. But throughout the day, you start talking to people, you start having fun, and then before you know it, zing! Oh, and you'll think, oh, I'm confluencing. Oh, this is mad. This is crazy. But be careful, right? It's addictive. You get more tomorrow. That's cool. But then you're going to have to go cold turkey on Saturday, okay? So don't get too addicted to confluencing. Here's a couple of things, bit of business. We have wireless. It's at Confluence 2015, and there's no password required. We also have power outlets down both sides of the theater. You guys are going to be packed in today. There's going to be some people coming and going. I understand everybody has schedules. We're going to play it a little bit loosey-goosey because you're close in with each other. So if you want to get up and get a coffee, that's fine. Nobody's going to take offense. If you want to heckle, don't heckle. But if you want to stand up and get a coffee, get a coffee. If you heckle, I'll come out and I'll shout at you. No, I won't. You can, maybe somebody will ask questions and we can kind of all engage in a group hug, a mental group hug. Hashtag ConfluenceCon, Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, or as my father-in-law calls it, Tweeter, then you got to get on Twitter and you got to get on the ConfluenceCon hashtag. We also have an app called Topi, T-O-P-I, which by the way is Urdu for hat. And our code is 493999634. I hope you remembered that because this is a slide of all of the people who've been using the ConfluenceCon hashtag 2 days before the event. So this hashtag is big. It actually trends in the DMA every year that we do this. So ConfluenceCon will give you a window into Twitter that you never knew possible. It's where really, it's where the best part of Confluence happens. You should have saved your money and stayed at home and just gone on the hashtag ConfluenceCon because that's where the real brainiacs are. That's where you really hear what people think about the speakers. You should hear some of the things they say about me. District House. This is 1 minute down the road. Of course, we have free coffee from Evoke, which is a wonderful coffee shop, local. But we also have District House 1 minute away if you're feeling like you need to get away from the crowds. We also have Roxy's in the district, 1 minute away. Ice cream shop. Pie. You're going to have Pie Junkie Pie tomorrow here. But if you're a pie fan, what is a pie fan? If you love pie twice as much as the regular person, you're a pie fan. Or maybe you're in a fraternity. There's a pie shop for you. It's only 1 minute away. And you can go and you can, eat, right? That's what you do with pie. The district is awesome. We hold Confluence here for a reason. We want people to see Oklahoma City. We want people to be able to walk out and walk around, shop, and get a feel for what this great city really is like. We're running a selfie competition today. Golden selfie stick, please, Gaia. Gaia, hey. I have an assistant today. She's more of a boss, really. Thank you, Gaia. And we have this beautiful golden selfie stick. It's kind of a rose gold, really. I hope that's okay with everybody. But it's a prize. I can't keep my mouth open and take a selfie at the same time. So it's a prize for one of our competitions we're running today. We'll give the prize tomorrow. It's a hashtag COKC, hashtag ConfluenceCon prize. You can also put your pictures up on our Facebook. And it's take selfies of yourself and your group and your team, somebody you just met, around the district, somewhere interesting, in a bathroom cubicle, I don't care. But you could win this beautiful gold selfie stick that is not actually gold, it's just golden colored. But, great prize. You could also win $200 worth of attraction entrances to local attractions. But we won't go into that. The golden selfie stick, that's the real thing, right? You're going to look like a baller, like I just did. Do you see how good I look taking a picture with that thing? Whew! It's amazing. I look so vain. Okay. Confluence after hours. This is important. If you really want to get the Confluence high, if you really want to feel like take your confluencing to the next level, then you've got to call your spouse and you've got to tell them, hey, I'm sorry, I'm off my tits confluencing. I got to get to Fassler Hall, 7 to 11. And they're going to be like, are you on drugs? And you say, yeah, I'm on drugs. It's crazy. It's 7 to 11, and you can walk. If 28 minutes, according to Google. If you're crazy, you can walk, but you can drive 4 minutes. And there are folks from out of town, so if you meet somebody from out of town and you're planning to go to Fast the Hall, just offer them a ride. But make sure there's somebody else in the car as well, because I don't want anything terrible happening to you. Fast the Hall is wonderful. They make their own sausages. What more do you need to know? It is hard to find, though. It's above Dust Bowl here. This sign, Dust Bowl is a bowling alley on 10th Street, and then it's up here. There's not really a good signage to it, but you'll find it. Go to Dust Bowl, and then go upstairs. We have sponsors this year, like a lot of sponsors, people who want to get in front of you guys. I've been telling them about you. I've been singing your praises. I've been saying, our audience, they're so smart. They're such good marketers. You really need to get in front of them. So I'm going to just read this because I don't want to mess it up for the people who pay the bills. Confluence is made possible by these generous, by these generous sponsors. SEMrush, the competitive intelligence suite for SEO, PPC, social media, and video advertising research. You're going to hear a bit more about them in a minute. KTOK, Oklahoma's favorite news talk radio station, the Oklahoman Media Company, publishers of the state's most trusted newspaper, Jones Public Relations, an Oklahoma-based national communications agency that helps your voice be heard anywhere. The Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau make visitokc.com your resource for what to do in and around Oklahoma City, and share your love with the COKC hashtag. Aren't you glad it's not all like this, right? This is pretty boring. I'm sorry, guys. And Indian Head Pictures, filmmakers who like to tell stories about businesses and organizations through creative visuals and sound. They're actually doing the videoing for Confluence this year, and it's going to be our video asset on our website next year. They're a creative shop. Patrick, who you're going to hopefully meet. If he grabs you, give him a great interview. Tell him what a wonderful time you're having Confluencing. And maybe if you have business that you want to send their way, you need a video made, you can talk to him as well. Confluence is hosted by Big Wing Interactive, a full-service Oklahoma City-based online marketing agency offering integrated web design, SEO, content marketing, social media, paid search, and more, with clients in 16 U.S. states and abroad. Back to just me. Oh, okay, so this guy, Steve Sack. He is a local entrepreneur. Steve, I didn't tell you, I didn't warn you. Are you here today? Steve? Okay, thank goodness for that. I didn't warn Steve that I was going to put him up here, but he's a local entrepreneur, S&S Promotions, and they've been in the Inc. fastest growing list many times. They print the menus for Sonic, amongst other things. And he's a kind of a marketing buff, or a wonk, you might call him. Even though he looks super serious, right? There's a bit of a wonk in there. And he asked me the other day to define marketing in one word. And he says he does this a lot. He asks marketers to define marketing in one word. So I was like, that's super hard. So I said, pizzazz. And he looked at me like that, right? He looked at me and that look. I was like, ooh, okay. Jazz hands? He was like, that's 2 words. And so I said, what, hyphen? And he said, no. And then he told me, positioning. Positioning. Well, that's good, right? Positioning. Positioning is really important in marketing. It's relative. It's also dynamic, right? You're welcome, Evoke. You can't really see this slide as well as I had hoped, but this is a gross-looking burger. It's actually raw in the middle. Literally, it's raw. And this burger shop called Bunsen Burger have made that their competitive advantage. They serve you raw burgers. Now, what the heck? David, are you smoking the crack? I'm not. This is my family. We went to the Isle of Wight, which is where I'm from, a month ago, and this is my brother-in-law. His name is David, really, but he makes us call him Dahi, which is Irish for David, just to annoy us. And anyway, so he said, he was saying to me the other day, he was saying, David, no, I am going to go, I'm going to try the accent. David, no, this burger place, Bunsen Burger in Dublin, you wouldn't believe it, it's amazing. The burgers, they're raw, but they're beautiful, best burger in Dublin. And the marketing, the marketing is fantastic. You should hear all about it. And he's an Irish storyteller. He went off on this long yarn, and I'm going to regale you with that same yarn today. They make their burgers fresh every day. They grind the meat in a refrigerated room in the back. So it's so fresh, it's like a steak. That means that they can make you a raw hamburger. They've turned a disgusting concept into a position. And this video shows basically them grinding up raw meat. And it's one of 2 videos on their website. And frankly, it makes me hungry. Like, super weird. Look at that beautiful image. This is their website. And I love this. There's an adage in storytelling which is show, don't tell. Because anybody can tell. I can tell you I'm the best marketer in the world. And you're going to just be like, oh, great, yeah, well done. But if I show you something amazing, you're more likely to believe me. And what they've done here is they've shown us that they're so proud of their ingredients that they can lay them out on a kitchen table and make it look delicious. I actually had this up while I was working on it at work. Somebody walked past and went, makes me hungry. And I thought, you are nuts. That's raw meat. But they're right. They're differentiating on quality. And quality is notoriously difficult to differentiate on because everybody says they have quality. It's the easiest thing. Oh, we've got such great quality. Well, how do you actually differentiate on quality? This is their menu. It's the size of a business card. They're so focused on burgers, they sell 4 things: hamburgers, fries, soda, milkshakes. That's it. If somebody gives you this business card, obviously it's super shareable. They encourage people to take their menus away and says, best burger in Dublin. I'm not going to give you the accent again. The Irish accent, the English accent kind of comes with the territory, I'm afraid. You're going to believe it, right? You're going to look at that, and it says everything you need to know about their position, which is we are laser focused on burgers and fries to such a degree, it's the only thing we do. If they don't do burger and fries well, they're a crappy business, frankly. And it's shareable on social, too. This is a Facebook post they had, and it's a competition. Take a Bunsen menu, photograph it somewhere interesting. You can win a Bunsie, which is a Bunsen onesie. This is Molly Malone's bust. She's a famous Irish wenching woman, I don't know. This is a Bunsie, right? And a very Irish-looking gentleman, I think, wearing his Bunsie. And I have a point behind this slide. Okay, I kind of want to roll up my sleeves to give it to you, but all of these things, right? The ingredients, the process, the product, the sales, the marketing, they all reinforce the positioning. The positioning of we are focused on quality burgers. It's not like some marketing person came up with the idea for a menu that fits on a business card and then forced them to start grinding their hamburgers in the back in a refrigerated room. There's substance behind this. And this is basically stolen from Scott Klosowski, who's the keynote speaker tomorrow at the end of the day. So stick around. And he basically says that the CMO of the future is going to look very different from the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, today. And that often people think of the CMO as taking a stranger and bringing them along so that they become a lead through marketing. But what's happening with the internet is that the CMO of the future needs to concern themselves with how these things all play together. Marketing, sales, product, customer care. How do these things integrate? Because there's a pretty good chance if somebody has a problem with the product, the CMO is going to be the first person to hear about it through social media or through a review. They're going to have to make it their problem because the CMO of the future needs to be thinking all the time about advocates. Advocates are what drive businesses, really. Advocates. People who will hand you a card and say, Best burger in Dublin. And if there's something wrong with your sales, product, customer care, that is your problem, CMO. And so Scott says the CMO of the future will be a CRO, a Chief Relationship Officer, which is badass, and I want to be one. So what are we trying to do here with Confluence? We're trying to create a hub of digital activity here in Oklahoma City, and hopefully the region as well. We have people from all of these states attending here today, and we really want to encourage that. We really want to be seen as a special place for digital marketing. And if you meet somebody today who's traveled from a different state, I want you to be extra nice to them. Like, not in a weird way. Just, give them maybe for every 100 miles they traveled, you could give them 1 extra minute of uninterrupted eye contact, for example. If they took a plane to get here, you should squeeze their thigh, okay? Because we're a little different here. We're friendly in Oklahoma City, and that's why I love it so much, right? I feel like a kinship with Oklahoma because of this. And this guy, Kevin Durant, obviously stands for that. And he said, a big market is something that doesn't really concern me too much. Love it. I'm more of a digital marketer. Yeah, I was as surprised as you guys probably are right now. That's what I want to be known as. And this is the best place for me to play digital marketing. Because there are other markets, right? There are other conferences. This is one in Dallas. They're kind of ritzier, and they're more expensive, and, they're in a convention center out in the suburbs, and that's all great. But we're Confluence, right? We're kind of quirky, and, you guys have a weird English guy. That's cool, too. This is one of my favorite quotes by an Oklahoman. And that really is Confluence's position, right? We're basically the Oklahoma of digital marketing conferences. It's so friendly. So there are some folks that I really need to thank before we go on here. This has been a mammoth team effort. I am actually not the person who organized this this year. That honor was honor/crippling burden belonged to Kyle Elrod here. If you guys could thank Kyle for me with a round of applause. Thank you. And then we'll do the rest of these guys, and they can all share one big, long round of applause between them. I wrote this down, too, just so I wouldn't forget anybody. Rachel Mann, she was our programming lead, responsible for scheduling and taking care of our amazing lineup of speakers, who are all downstairs in a grinder, being ground up fresh for you right now. We have Dan Holmes, who isn't pictured here. He was responsible for our marketing. You're here because he marketed to you. Allison Abbott, who's on the right. She's responsible for our operations, all of the moving parts here today. And then April Dobson, she is responsible for our wonderful customer service this year. Much better than last year, thank you. Sorry, who? Thanks also to Samaya Islam, Alex Joseph, Audrey Dognan, Rachel Jameson, Ruth Burreedy, Ryan Doonkeen, Guy Boyd, Scott Wilson, and Stephen Dayton. What did I say? Mammoth team effort. So round of applause for everybody. Thank you. Thank you all. And also to Marilyn Hefner, who's my long-suffering boss, and she's the one who basically allows us to do this crazy thing. These are your speakers today. I'm not going to bore you anymore. I've already bored you too long. But they're an amazing lineup. And really, honestly, speakers speak across the country. There's some local talent mixed in, but they're talking at the biggest events. You're going to learn about SEO, content marketing, social media, branding, PR, analytics, user experience, persona building. You're going to learn all kinds of useful stuff over the next couple of